I tell you, this young lady that we have coming up, she is the founder and also the executive director for the National Leadership Group Incorporation. That is an organization that was formed in 2007. And she is also the producer of the documentary Touch One, Touch a Generation. And that documentary explores the workings of the inner city and poverty-stricken neighborhoods of our nation and the families who live in them. She is retired from AT&T, where she served as a senior manager, and she now works as an engineer with AT&T. So, without further ado, let me introduce to our audience tonight, Miss Beverly Brewster. Good evening. How are you?
Hello. How are you?
Hi. Thank you for coming to the show tonight, and it's just a joy having you here. How are you doing? How was your day?
Real good, and thank you for inviting me to this call also.
Yes, well, I see where your motto is changing lives one generation at a time. Before we get started, do you have any shout-outs or anything you'd like to say before we get started tonight?
No, I'm just excited about the call. I'm just excited about it, being on the call and being able to talk about our organization, talk about what we're trying to do in the community. That's exciting to us.
Yeah. Well, I want to kind of touch bases on the reason, go into more depth about what. Well, let's go back a little further. Let's start with the vision. When it all started, I know you actually formed and founded the organization in 2007, but when did God actually begin to really speak to you about getting this together?
Well, really, it was in January of 2007. God gave me a dream. And in the dream, I was living in the inner city, like in the projects or the inner city, and I heard shooting, I heard sirens, I heard people crying. And in the dream, I said, it got to be a better way of living than this. And also in the dream, I heard the words that God have already prepared the way. That if you can identify your talents, gifts, and abilities, develop them, that can get you out of this environment. And then I heard the words, touch one, touch a generation. Because if you can just touch one and get them out of that environment, that can save a generation from growing up in that same environment. So that's when it first started. And really, we went on to produce a documentary, Touch One, Touch a Generation, and it really was to highlight that generations are growing up in poverty.
My goodness, my goodness. So tell us a little bit about you putting this documentary together. Did you interview people, or tell us how it went, and how did you gather up the people that you needed to assist you with it?
Okay. What I did, I had a friend that I knew that worked in filming, and I submitted the idea to her, and I told her, I said, well, what I would like to do, I would like to interview people living in the projects in the inner city and try to I wanted to interview ones who were still there and ones who have successfully made it out and find out what was the difference. Okay. So when I told her that, we had some people that contacted us, and they contacted us, we interviewed them, and then we selected the ones that we wanted to use their story, and we went out and filmed them. We went to a lot of different projects in Atlanta, Georgia, and we also went to, I think it was Cartersville, and interviewed. We went to their home and interviewed them and let them give us their story. And I found out that a lot of generations grow up in the projects. We ran into a fourth generation family that had grew grew up in the project. Fourth generation. And all four generations are still living in the project. And we found out that some people, for various reasons, end up in the project. People who have had a successful life and lost everything, and they end up, that was the only place that they can go, and they end up in the project. So it was different stories of how people end up in the project. And we also asked them, did they want to stay there, or did they want to get out? Or did they know how to get out? And some of them, believe it or not, because that was the only environment that they knew, some was afraid to even want to get out of that environment, because that was the only environment that they knew. They grew up in that environment. And some of them had successfully made it out of that environment.
Yes. Well, we have some callers on the line. Let's see, maybe someone has a question for you.
Unmuted.
Or something. Beverly. Hi. You're on Truth Talk Radio. Your comment, your name. Good evening. Good evening. You're on Truth Talk Radio. Your name and your comment tonight. Hello. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Beverly.
Okay. And what we were trying to tell them, because a lot of people think that they can't do anything and they'll never make it, they can never go anywhere. But God has given everybody gifts, talents, and abilities. And like I said, if we can help them identify them and develop them, and that can get them out of the situation or environment that they're in if they want to leave. And what I found out out here talking to the people in the different environments, poverty is like a mindset. It is. It's a it's a mindset. Yeah, it's a spirit. You know, and that spirit has to be broken. The spirit has to be broken, or they have to be delivered from that type of spirit. So, but you have to want to be delivered. You have to want to live a better life.
Well, I bet some that were afraid and were fearful that actually wanted to change, that obeyed and came out. I bet they really are just so thankful and grateful, and you and your organization have just helped many. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how their lives changing and the difference that it made, and did they bring out another generation, or, you want to share some of that?
As a matter of fact, some of the people that we did interview that was living in the project are no longer living in the project. One of the ladies, she ended up in the project because she was married, had a husband and 2 sons, and they were living a good life. She didn't even have to work. Her husband took care of her. But she got pregnant again and was having twins. But he didn't want any more kids. So he left her. He divorced her. And the way that everything was written was that he didn't have to give her anything. And because she never worked, she ended up in the project. Well, I'm glad to tell you that now, after we had interviewed her and talked with her, she got a degree, and she's moving out of the projects now. Okay? That's one of the success stories. And the four generations that I told you about that lived in the project, they moved out of the project. They're doing good. As a matter of fact, the 3rd generation young lady got her degree. She went back to school. She was working 2 jobs. She got her degree. She worked for the city of Atlanta, but now she's going back to college because she wanted to be an attorney. So we have had, we interviewed not just black, we interviewed whites as well, okay, because we know there's a lot of people involved in poverty, and there's a lot of single parents out there, okay, of all races. So we have had quite a few systems.
Thank you for saying that, because just have it in their mind that it's just, black African Americans that are in the project, and that is not the case.
That's not the case. It's not the case.
We thank God, and I saw your picture on the site, and and I saw just an array of different people. I saw, now, I know that you deal with single mothers, but I saw some men as well. So are you, your organization, you also deal with single parents that are men as well, that are raising their children?
Yes, we deal with single parents. There are quite a few men that are raising their children for whatever reason. And then there are also a lot of grandparents raising their grandchildren. So we consider them all in the single parents as single parents,
right.
Although they're grandparents, but they're raising the kids. And, you know, sometimes one of the parents may be incarcerated. So that's almost like a single parent. It could be a widower. That's a single parent. So we, all of those different people above, we include and we kind of minister to them as single parents. And what we do, I am a single parent. So I know what a single parent goes through. And what we decided, my organization, we decided to have a single parent health and financial empowerment expo. Let's try to empower our single parents. But in order to empower our single parents, we have to provide tools and resources for them, because there's a lot of resources that's out there for single parents that they don't know that's out there. Mm-hmm. We have workshops, and we invite them to the workshops. Some come, but you know, it just only be just a few people that come. So we decided we'll take it to them. So we go out to the mall, because we know they're going to be in the mall. So we are going out to the malls now and having our single parent expos and providing information to try to help empower them and help them be successful as single parents and raise successful children.
So what does your single parent consist of? Is that your NLG, when you're reaching out to the community?
Yes, that's part of the National Leadership Group. That's part of our vision. This is single parent. We do poverty forums, but we also do single parent health and financial expos. And like I said, we go out to the malls. We had one at South Lake Mall last year. And this year, on March the 25th, we're going to have one at South DeKalb Mall. And what we do, we bring out different nonprofit organizations and some government agencies that provide different resources for single parents, such as free health screening, legal consultation, financial advice, home buying advice, different things like that can help them.
That is awesome. That's practically right across the street from my church, and I did go online and sign the petition for the single parents.
Let me tell a little bit about that, if you don't mind. I found out that back in 1984 that President Ronald Reagan declared March the 21st as National Single Parent Day. Well, I had never heard of it, and I've been out here in the community for years, okay? So when I found out about it, that was another reason why we wanted to do the Single Parent Expo. But I said, well, why can't we have that day as a holiday here in Georgia? So I did get in touch with Representative Valencia Stovall, and I wrote up a resolution, and I submitted to her. She got it approved. And so now I have the resolution to make that day a holiday here in Georgia, March the 21st. And also we're preparing and looking forward to having Single Parent Day at the Capitol on the 21st of March.
Yes. Well, I'm going to have to mark my calendar for that day and come to the Capitol. Yes, that is it to be televised and everything else. Because
and the reason why, the reason why he declared it as a holiday, he said we need to reach out to our single parents. We need to reach out to them. We need to recognize them for trying to raise their children on their own. be successful citizens.
That is
And
so
so you
true.
can use that day to recognize them.
That's something that was very key, and I see we got a call on the line, and that was that you come bringing tools and resources, and sometimes that's what a lot of people are lacking. You know, some of them work so hard, or sometimes they don't have the education to know how to go about finding out about the resources, or how to feel. That is such a blessing. We have a caller on the line.
Okay.
Good evening, caller. You're on the line. Good evening.
Hey,
your name and comment. And fine, how are you?
I'm good. This is Latasha Frazier from Clayton County.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening. So my comment is, I was once one of them persons in the projects, and I was over in Thomasville. I left. I tried. My son was out in a lot of trouble, and so I tried to move, and I moved to Old National to try to change some things, but something went sideways, so I had to go back. I just moved off and over there again. Now it's been about it'll be 3 years. But they have a tragedy that had to go my way in order for me to really step out on faith, because I was one of them persons that she was talking about was I was really comfortable, and not only that, I didn't think I can be able to make it if I go out and pay some rent or whatever, because, you know, when you're in the project, if you lose the job, you don't have to worry about rent, you know, you just have to worry about utilities, and something you didn't have a lot of utilities. Either you had gas or you had light. If you had a gas bill and a light, they really went over exceedingly, which people, you know, like if you was in a home. And I'm a grandparent raising 3 grandchildren. So I was caught up in the mix, but no one was helping us in that field with the single parents or showing us how we can really get out and go forth, as in believing that there's some help out there. But, you know, when you out there, people scared to come in your area because they always shoot, you know, they robbing. So no one never came out to help us, single parents or young women. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes, I do. I do. But, you know, I'm a part of a ministry, and our ministry used to go out to the projects all the time. We go out and take food, we minister, we have entertainment. We used to do a lot of things, and we still do that. But something that you said that, now, first of all, I want you to know that we're not putting people down in the project. Hey, if you don't have anywhere to stay, thank God you got somewhere to stay. But you don't want to continue there. You want to always want to do better, and that's it. Because, see, just like I said, generation growing up in poverty, you want to get out because you don't want your grandchildren to think that that's the only way of life for them.
And that is so true, because that's why I was like, every time they're coming out the door, they coming home, they're shooting, and I just to the point where I was really getting tired too. But again, fear set up in me that I didn't think I can go no other place. You understand? So it was like scared to go, but knowing in my heart I needed to go for my grandkids.
Right. Not for you as well as for your grandkids. So where are you now?
I'm in Clayton County now. I do subdivision in Clayton County.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's a lot better.
Okay. Well, good.
That is great. Well, we certainly thank you for your call, Latasha. Keep on listening. We thank you for chiming in. Great topic tonight.
Okay, thank you.
And we go. All right. Glad that made it out and still going towards higher heights. Keep on keeping on, my sister.
Right,
Keep on moving forward. Right. God bless you. Good night. We've got another caller on the line. Good evening, caller. You're on the line. This is Truth Talk Radio. Your name and comment tonight?
Yeah, I'm Reginald Carter calling. I'm sorry I tuned in late, but I heard the information about the single parent holiday that national or federal?
It's a national holiday, but you know how each state has to accept it. So we're trying to get the state of Georgia to make it a holiday here in Georgia, for the state of Georgia. Like right now, the state of Colorado is the only one that recognizes it as a holiday, not a federal holiday where you're off work or anything like that, but they just recognize it as a holiday.
I see.
You did. President Reagan was first put that proclamation out there, right?
Right.
And so what's expected of citizens on that day? I mean, does it mean they take off the break, or does it mean that they do something? So
what he's expecting, what we're expecting, is like we'll be having like different events on that day, reaching out to single parents, empowering something that you will be able to empower single parents, recognize them in a certain way. So it's different events like that. But the main thing is to recognize, to reach out and encourage a single parent on that day.
I see. All right, I'm sorry I'm tuning in late, but then I just caught the tail end of it. I laud you the work that you're doing for the parents.
Thank you for calling in tonight, Mr. Carter.
Always
Thank you for calling. Thank you. Continue to enjoy the show.
Thank you.
All right. Well, it looks like we may have another caller on the line, Miss Beverly. Someone may have a question. Okay. Talk ready. Hi, how are you? Your name and your comment tonight or question?
This is Patricia Bodie from Jonesboro, Georgia.
Yes, good evening. How?
I'm doing fine. My question is this only for single parents with children, or could it be for single people that may need a way of escape for a better living?
Yeah, when we have the poverty forum, that's for anybody. Okay. That's for anybody when we have the poverty forum.
Okay.
And when we have the single parent event, is really for single parents, because the information that they are providing would be for single parents. But now some of the information that the different vendors will be providing, like the school system would be one that would be out there, that can help anybody.
Oh, okay.
That have children. And then we're going to have other vendors from different colleges in case, somebody may want to go back to school, a parent or a single person. They want to go back to school. So, you just have to come and see what's all available, because some of it could apply to you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I'm enjoying the show, so I thank you for being on tonight.
Thank you. Well, thank you. And don't forget to pass the word on about True Talk Radio and leave your comments on my webpage tonight. Thank you again for calling, Miss Bodie.
All right.
Right. Well, I tell you, Beverly, do you have time to stick around and talk some more, or do you have to? Okay, I wanted to ask you a little bit about the march. As far as, is everybody going to gather at a certain place, and tell us a little bit about the march. Kind of give me a visual.
Okay, all of that hasn't been confirmed yet. We haven't put all of that. We don't have the agenda for that yet. So we're still waiting on the final word. We know it's going to happen, but we're just kind of waiting on the final word as far as what time and everything like that. Then we can tell everybody what time we're going to meet, where we're going to meet, and everything like that, what the agenda would be.
That is going to be at the state capitol?
Yes.
Oh, that is exciting to me. I was like a little kid in a candy store when I was down there last year for the Alzheimer's Association. It really is. I always say when there's a need don't worry about if you don't have the money or you don't have this and you don't have that. When God has given you a dream, a vision, and you really have a passion to make a difference, begin to step out and just begin to do. He will put people in your path that you need. You want to give a testimony about how some things kind of came together for you?
Well, like I said, I never thought I would be a single parent. When I was young and in high school, I never thought that I would be a single parent, but I did end up being a single parent of 3 kids. They all adults now. I had some hard times. It's hard raising kids as a single parent. I'm not going to tell you, but thank God that I thank God for being in my life and giving me the wisdom and the understanding to be able to raise my kids in a godly way or in the right way. But like I said, I have always worked. My kids have always had everything they needed because I always worked to make sure they had it. Now, first of all, I was putting my children first and putting myself last. It's just like I didn't have any dreams. It was all about my children. I think I was doing a lot of that out of guilt. You know, I think I was doing a lot of that out of guilt. Well, when I realized I have dreams and visions too. I have, there's things that I want to do. I can still be a good parent and still have mine and fulfill my dreams. So, I started thinking about what is it that I want to do? What is it that God wants me to do? And like I said, I always have gone to church. I've always taught my kids. I lived the word in front of my kids. For my kids, I took them to church with me. My children know the word of God. So that helped in keeping my kids. And I found out that my kids have gift, talent, and abilities. If I can help identify what gift and talent and ability they have, that can keep them out of the street. Or they'll be doing something that they like doing. So it was a lot of things I had to do, but we overcame all of that. God, we overcame all of that. We're doing good. My kids are doing good. They all got good jobs, doing real good. And like I said, and I came through all of that. We came through all that. Say that for me.
We've got another caller on the line. You're on the line. Caller, welcome to Truth Radio. You're on the air. Your name and your comment or question tonight for Beverly.
Well, thank God. Well, I think you know me. My name is Apostle Purvis. How are you doing this evening, elect lady and Sister Beverly?
Great, thank you.
Good. My comment is, I thank God for you. A few years ago, we had started a program. It was entitled "What About Us?" and it was geared more to grandparents who were left with their children's children for one reason or another. The parent might have been locked up or killed, and they weren't able to get no resource or anything, and the court system seemed to always come down on them and blame them for the things that the grandkids were doing. But, more than that, I dropped the ball, and we had a few meetings, and people didn't come out like I thought they should have. We were reaching out, and my thing is, you inspired me now to start it up again, to know that they can't give up. If God put that in our spirit, in our vision, in our heart, that just because things don't always go right the first couple of times, and I know with you, it probably didn't go right the first couple of times.
Right.
You didn't get all of the support that you thought that you should have had. But if you could just give us some information on your resources and where you're located and what you're doing, because I came in a little bit late too.
Okay. One of the things that we're trying to put a program together, the National Leadership Group, because another part of the vision that I have is to have single parent support groups in the churches.
Mm-hmm.
It's needed. It's needed.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not coming in there to minister to them. That's up to the pastor and the leadership in the church. But we want to come in and talk with them and let them know what support is available, what resources are available also. And we know there are single parents in the churches.
Right.
Yeah. But right now, the only resources that we have is that we have these events. And when we have these events, different companies, different nonprofit organizations, they come out and share what resources they have that they provide. See, we don't really provide any resources as the National Leadership Group, but we can connect you with the right resources that you need.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what we do right now.
So in actuality, you're more boots on the ground. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. I appreciate that then. But make sure you leave a contact number or something.
I will.
Okay. Thank you very much. God bless.
All right. Okay. God bless you too.
Yes, let's take a pause right here, Beverly, and go ahead and give us all of your social media information, your email, and all of your contact information, your website. You can go ahead and do that.
We have two websites. Our first website is nationallg.org. That's nationallg.org. And we are a 501c3 organization. Our Facebook page is National Single Parent Day, USA. And also the National Leadership Group, Inc. Those are our two Facebook pages. Our contact number is 770-997-6868. Our email address is info@touchageneration.com. And we're asking people to go on you can either go on our Facebook page or on our website to sign our single parent petition to make March the 21st a holiday here in Georgia. And I think that is it.
Hey, I'm trying to look at the date for March the 21st. What day is that on?
March the 21st, I think, is on I got it right here. March the 21st is on a Tuesday, but our expo is going to be on the 25th.
Okay, all right. And that's going to be at South DeKalb Mall.
Right, on the 25th from 12 noon to 5 p.m.
Okay, awesome. Well, we'll have to walk over there after church.
Yes.
About 10th Street.
Okay.
Yeah, that's on a Saturday?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, our time is just about wrapped up, and I also see where you, at the expo, you also teach on health and financial empowerment, which is absolutely essential, because when you move from one place and you used to only paying $0 to $25 a month for rent to paying $600-700 a month, how to manage your money, you can be jacked up. So that's very, very also your health, how to take care of yourself. This is really good stuff. Thank God for you and for your obedience and following your dream and how it's come to fruition, and how you and your foundation are just helping and continue to help so many people, because so many people need help and want to come out of poverty and don't know how. So we thank God for NLG.
Thank you.
So
thank you for your show.
We will definitely stay connected, and I will be making the announcement about the March. When you can call me and just let me know, and I'll just make the announcement on the radio. I can let everybody know.
Okay, and I'll see your flyer.
Okay, that's fine. That is fine. And you enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you so much, Beverly. I appreciate you.
And thank you so much. I appreciate you for inviting me.
All right, then. Good night.
Good night.
Right. Well, there you have it. We have had Ms. Beverly Brewster with us, the founder and executive director for the National Leadership Group, and also she had and produced a documentary called Touch One, Touch a Generation, that explored the workings of the inner city and poverty-stricken neighborhoods of our nation and the families who live in them. She's retired from AT&T. She retired as a senior manager, and now she's back at work as an engineer with AT&T. So she's a very busy lady. And she said something that was so key earlier. You know, she said sometimes, you know, she felt guilty because she was a single parent and she didn't feel like she had the right to pursue her dreams. But, you know, she got out of that, and I'm glad that she did. And many of you out there may feel like that. Well, you know, but God has given all of us a gift and a talent. And you have the right, like anyone else, to pursue your dream. So pursue. And don't sit back and not do anything with your life. Make your life count. Somebody out there